Hi, I'm Thomas. I'm the senior member on the Student Senate for McGoffin County.
And my name is Keenan Conley, and I'm the junior student senate member from McGoffin County.
And what we want to talk about is our project for this year, and it's to continue to build on in the positive culture for our school. And we don't want last year's project to be a one-time thing where we were just building ownership for our school. We want to continue on that and build to that, and see that continues to work really well.
So after taking into consideration what we done last year, we looked at the different things and met at the beginning of this year to see what can we do to improve the school for this school year. What worked last year, what did not work. So what we come up with was, after taking into consideration everything we done, we made an objective, kind of what we're going to do, a primary objective that this year is going to be our plan, and hope at the end will kind of prove to be successful. And that objective is to create a positive, student-friendly culture at McGoffin County High School that promotes educational and social success for all students. We saw that kind of students were being put in different groups and not interacting with everybody, and that every student was not getting kind of included. So we want to make sure that's branched out to all students. And one way that we've done this year, and especially last year it was big, with the addition of our new high school, we created the Principals Advisory Committee, or the PAC. This kind of committee is composed of a total of 10 students. 8 students are elected from each of the grade levels, so freshman, sophomore, junior, and senior. And the other 2 members are Thomas and I, the student senate members. Last year, some of the things we worked on was improving the kind of student culture between students and teacher, that student-teacher interaction. And that included different things, kind of like meeting with the teachers and seeing what they would do. And also another thing we worked on was kind of seeing what the students wanted. So students would bring their ideas to the principal. We would meet at the third Thursday of each month, and we saw what the students would bring. So we saw the different things, like we created incentive cards. So incentive cards were kind of based on the ELC scores at the end of the year. And we saw that students were not kind of participating in those. So what we kind of clarified or brought up was, how do we bring students to participate in those ELC scores? And the incentive cards were kind of a way to get students to do well on those tests. And they came with different things like a 5% bonus on any 9 weeks term grade. Also, free parking at the student parking level. Another thing was a movie outing, so students who scored really high would go out and watch a movie as a class. And also, one of the last things, and these were just some of the things, but it included a lunch outing. So we know how school lunches are. So we wanted students to kind of get, who done well, to go out and enjoy, kind of, teachers would see that they done well. And we want students to be recognized for that. And that was one of the things we brought up.
Yeah, so like he was talking about the incentives for doing good. Recently, the seniors just took a trip to Archer Park. And it was basically for anybody who didn't get novice, because novice is just a big negative for us. We want kids to try to at least get, we want them to strive to get distinguished and proficient. But, just if they don't get novice, that's great, okay? And I think we only had like 6 or 7 maybe in the senior class, like, get novice. So only having like 6 or 7 and shows you the incentives are working. And, well, just talking about Archer Park, we went there. We just had a good time. We cooked out. We rented out the roller skating rink. I played tennis. Foursquare. We had Foursquare basketball. It was a great time. And I want to go back to the Principals Advisory Committee. We're talking. I recently just called down to the middle school, and we're talking to the middle school principal about getting a advisory committee for the middle school, and I talked to him about that, and I look forward to talking to them in the future about that. Anything else you want to talk about?
Yeah. And one of the things we looked at our primary objective is to build school culture. So this year, the art classes actually kind of decided to do like a little surprise on the teachers, and they created Bitmojis of all the teachers at our school. And one day we walked in the school and they were just there, and we were like, where did they come from? So the students and teachers really got a kick out of seeing the teachers kind of represented in that kind of comedy, comedic way. And it was just a really fun time seeing how each, like, although, like, we think of teachers, it's kind of like they're, like, at the student, the teacher, we're supposed to, learn, and we really don't get to connect with teachers on that personal way that we would like to. And this was a way to, like, the Bitmojis was to really get down and to show that the teachers and students really do have that positive cultural kind of environment.
Yeah, I can remember walking out into the hallway when I seen the Bitmojis. I was like, man, what is this? This is awesome. Like, seeing my favorite teachers, like, but Bitmojis, like, was like crazy. But we've done a few other things. Recently had an academic rally or a pep rally, but we had an academic awards, like, kind of, like, we celebrated kids who got proficient distinguished. They got their picture taken, their name called down. Everybody got to see them called down before the pep rally started. It was just a really great way, again, of showing that if you do good, if you try to do good and you do good, that you will get noticed for it. And also last year, juniors, I was one of the juniors last year that had good attendance, got a field day. Got to go out at the end of the school year. They went out and they just went out and we played like games like I think it was hula hoop. We played like who could like do hula hoops the longest and maybe like a pieing contest or something. I mean, just really fun games, build school culture and celebrate achievements like good attendance and good academics.
So going back to our primary objective was to create a positive, student-friendly environment at our school for both teachers and the students. And some of the things that we are going to hope to do is to keep continuing the Principals Advisory Committee, so having that interaction between the principal and the students, so students have their voice. We also plan on to create an ambassador team, and I'd like to go real quick into this, if I don't mind.
You have about 30 seconds.
Okay. So I'll, so the ambassador team, real quick, at the Student Senate kind of induction ceremony, some schools had created a student voice team that included, for example, the basketball captain, the captain of the basketball team, president of FFA, different club presidents that come together and met to discuss not only what's happening in the student body, but the student body's clubs. So we would like to get that in addition to the Principals Advisory Committee. So, any questions? Thank you, guys.
Thank you.